Alright, so I wanted to make a walk around video and kind of talk about what's been going on behind me. So if you follow me on anything, you would know that I posted and I sold my daily driver, which I never really showed much, but it was a 2012 Ford F-150 with a Coyote in it, and I had it over 5 years, so, and it was a great truck. But the past few year or so, I kind of been wanting something different, because other than that thing, that's the longest I've ever had a vehicle. So and I grew up as a kid, literally our family had one of these trucks my entire childhood. So there was a brief time, I want to say around the time I was around 17 till I was 19, that Dad didn't have one. And that's been it. So I literally, whenever I first started driving, that truck over there wasn't even done. So I was literally driving one of these. It was a 95 F-150. So, I've been wanting one of these for a long time, a crew cab, to be able to haul the family with. And I really wanted one before I got the Fairmont, but I kind of found the Fairmont, and it's a great idea what I was going to do with it. But at the end of the day, the Fairmont wasn't a, like, I don't know. It wasn't a, I want to say dream car, but is it a dream car? It wasn't like a car I had to have. I had zero emotional attachment other than how cool I thought it was because of how low miles and clean it was. And that was it. So my dad wrecked his daily, and which was a 2013 F-150 Coyote, and they totaled it. So he had been looking for a truck like mine, and I went back and forth thinking about it, talking to Briley about it, and I didn't want to deal with, I kind of been thinking about getting rid of my truck anyway, and I didn't want to deal with Marketplace and all the idiots. So I ended up selling my dad my truck, and literally the next day I went and bought this. So let me get you, so you'll also see the Fairmont's not here, and I'll kind of go over that real quick. So let me get you flipped around. So this is a 1997 F-250, obviously two-wheel drive, 460. It's got 74,000 miles on it. Bother the junk. Been driving her. Watch how good this door shuts. I haven't even cleaned it. This is basically how I picked it up, but probably worse since I've been driving it. God awful mirrors. If you prefer them mirrors, I'm sorry, but I cannot stand them. So, I mean, it's got a few little dents and dings, but, you know, here and there. But underneath, I've been underneath this thing. It is absolutely solid. Like, for this truck being in Kentucky, as far as I know its whole life, I'm unsure. As far as I know, to be a Kentucky truck, this might be the most solid Kentucky OBS Ford one of. I'm sure there's some garage queens that have 0 miles on them. But like, it's got enough bumps and bruises that I'm not afraid to drive it and use it as a truck. It had, I'll put in a picture right here of the day I picked it up. It had a horrible topper and a bed liner in it. But yeah, look how nice this bed is. Look how straight that bed rail is. It's got a little bump there, a little baby crease here. But like, I don't know. I'm not really worried about that. The doors did not shut this good when I bought it, but the old 1/2-inch pecs. I literally bought a 2-foot stick for like $3. Look at that. That's shut all the way. So here's the main issue, is this door and this big old mirror. Someone hit it on something, I think backed in, and then creased that pretty bad and pulled it out of the door. So really cranked it. But that's a bummer, but I got a plan for that. So I went and bought this, and after buying this, I told my wife, you know, I'm going to be driving that during the summer, this, and I really need something to beat on in the salt and snow, because I'm not driving this in the salt and snow unless I just absolutely have to. But it's not going to be like a every time it snows, this is what I drive to work. I don't want that. So I still had the Fairmont, and I was talking to my wife, and she was like, well, you don't need 3 projects that are just sitting, which is a fair point. So we got to talking, and she was like, well, just sell the Fairmont and get something to drive back and forth to work and that you don't care about to rust out. And so Fairmont's gone. It's off to live a way better life in Florida. It's going to be a drag and drive car. So too bad it's going to be a turbo LS. But so the guy I bought this from / his daughter, he bought it in 2011. So he had it for 15 years. And as far as the title goes, he only put 9,000 miles on this thing in 15 years. So it wasn't perfect. On the way home, the passenger brake locked up. But what was I going to do? I was like an hour away from home. Just drove it. So I ordered all new, from brake hose to wheel bearing, everything new for both sides that night. And I probably should have looked at it, but I figured, you know, both sides are probably cranked. And this side ended up being replaced. That side had brakes done, but the caliper was the original one, so that's why it locked up. This one wasn't. So I probably didn't need to spend money on both sides, but the good thing is that these will last a long time because they can stay on it for a long time. I'm hinting at something. So I'd like to do a little startup video for this thing. The door chime's gonna drive me crazy, like always. You know, if this thing wasn't an F-250 gasser, hang on, let me pop that. You wouldn't even think it was a big block. Also, I love these OG mud flaps. I love them. Pop the hood. So, that light works. That's awesome. Cap, rotor, plugs, wires. It had the original Motorcraft serpentine belts on it still. So I put green gates, regular gates. That green gates for some reason was cheaper than the standard black gates. Make that make sense. I just put that belt tensioner on because that was making a little noise. And right now, the only thing that makes noise is that smog pump down there. So, that ain't too bad. I fixed the little vacuum leak, which I drove it for like a day or two with it leaking. And I thought, man, something's wrong. Well, if I had looked at it, I would have seen it. But yeah. I also put a fuel filter in it, and I've been running some like Berryman in the fuel system. But it did have pretty terrible throttle response, but show my foot when I do that. That ain't too bad for a 30-year-old truck. Yeah. She runs fantastic. Does sound pretty good, just super quiet. So full tune up on it and changed the oil and did the front brakes and wheel bearings. Also, this wheel bearing on the inner got absolutely cooked. And I don't know if it was because driving it with the brake locked, but it was bad, like real bad whenever I took it off. So I'm gonna walk over here and show you the OG Alcoas, the factory wheels. Show you how bad these tires were that were on it, that I drove home an hour on. So as you can see, there's some doors, but so this is the one that was real hot and it puked the grease out of the dust cap slung around. These tires though, so minimal cracking. Let's see, I'm gonna show you the date code on them. Oh, here we go. Think. Nope. Oh, yeah, you can't see that one. Should be right there. Anyway, these tires are from 2006. They're 20 years old. They all hold air. And they're not that dry rotted. That just goes to show you how crappy they make tires nowadays. So, I went and picked up these doors. Yeah, the paint is terrible, but they have small mirrors. And they're rust-free. And they're straight. So, this is a project for eventually. So, as you can see, it had a goofy fifth wheel tailgate on it as well. So, my dad's got a brand new tailgate, still in primer, just a shell, and thinking about us trying to tackle painting both at the same time. So, that's kind of a plan. So, I can swap everything off my other doors as far as the insides go, and then buy some new mirrors. They're not too bad. I'll literally swap the vent windows, everything off my other doors. So there's that to fix the passenger door problem. And I am a huge fan of these mirrors. These are my favorite OBS mirrors. So there's one more thing. So right here under this tarp, the weekend. So I bought the truck one weekend. The next weekend, I went and got these. I'm not kidding. Literally the next weekend. That was, I don't even know. I was going to say one of these was the OG. That might have been the passenger side. And I think that's the driver's side, the better looking one. Yeah, you can see the chopped lines where that one was sticking. So, I don't know if you can see, but this right here that's a Dana 60 with a matching rear end. To make that four-wheel drive. So, a guy up in Louisville hooked me up with this bad boy with the sway bar, everything. So, this is literally out of a, I would like to know what year that is out of, but I'm pretty sure with the brakes, it's a 96 or 7, because it's got the pins, which is the same ones on that truck that are brand new. So, I mean, obviously the rotor's different, but everything else is the same. I need longer brake lines, but that ain't a big deal. So, yeah. That is a 410 gear. So is that one. But so is that one. So, I'm probably just going to leave that in there alone. And then worry about up here. So.
Alright, well, it's been like 2 weeks since I made the first half of this video. And I had a second half already recorded that day, but I had to delete it all because, well, none of that's relevant right now because a lot's changed since in those two weeks. So, also, the Kentucky weather has changed. That day I recorded, it was like mid-60s, and this morning it's 40 degrees and it feels like 28 with the wind. So, bear with me. I'm going to go outside and show you what's been going on. So I got a winter beater. I've been daily driving to work because it's been pretty nasty, rainy, and it's been doing great. 4.6, 98, 4-wheel drive. But last Monday, so like 4 or 5 days ago, we family and my buddy Luke climbed in this rig, looked at the trailer, and went and bought this. So this is a 94 F-Superduty, which is an F-450 basically. And it had a wrecker bed sitting on it, and it was literally just sitting on it, and it had this wheel lift. And what I thought it weighed was like around 6,000 pounds, which is kind of too much for my car trailer. But I was like, well, take it easy, it'll probably be just fine. And we get there, and the guy said that it weighed like he thought it weighed, which it was a towing. He had a towing company, so he should know what stuff weighs. And he said that it probably weighed like 7,500 pounds. And I was like, he had a big loader sitting there that he's going to use to push it on the trailer. I said, well, how much you take with the bed off if it's just sitting on? And so made a deal. I feel like I got a great deal on it. And he yeeted the bed off. And the truck handled it fantastic. Absolutely. I cannot believe how good that towed it. I mean, I've never really towed anything with a 3/4 ton. Nothing heavy like this. But I was so impressed. Alright, here. Be prepared for this door to just fall off. So, here's the main reason I bought this thing. So, it was not this clean when we got it. We hit it with a little vacuum because we got it running, and we drove it. So, I'll put in a little clip right now.
Made it. Okay.
But you might be saying, well, it's a 2-wheel drive ZF5. It's got the clutch pedals, and you can tell by the exhaust, by the way that it is. It's a gasser. It's a 460 truck. It runs great. Like, the engine runs really good. For having, ain't no telling how many vacuum leaks it has, but it still runs really good. The transmission is a ZF5. And you might be saying, well, it's 2-wheel drive. What the heck? Well, it's got that parking brake on it. And that parking brake can take off and bolt a transfer case to it. So, I also, over there under my tarp, a guy I traded the tailgate for on the green truck, that gooseneck tailgate, a manual transfer case. I hope it works. It's an MP271, which is out of a Super-Duty, like a 99 F-250. And I hope it bolts with this transmission, but if it doesn't, my dad's got a parts truck at his house, and it's a half-ton, but all these OBSs use the same transfer case. So if that one don't work, which is a little bit heavier than the 1356 at my dad's, if that one don't work, I know that one will. So not a big deal. I'll just sell that one or something. But yeah, we got everything here to manual swap that truck. So let me show you the goods under here. Put my door lock back on. So this thing is 10 lug. Alright, so I didn't even think about this whenever I bought this, or was gonna go buy it. But obviously it's a 460. But I didn't think about this being an F-Superduty. All of these F-Superduty trucks have got factory hydro boost. So I am definitely stealing that and putting it on that. So literally all the lines, the power steering pump itself, everything will bolt right onto that truck. So this was an epic score. I didn't even realize, like, I didn't even think about that, having that. I knew these trucks had that, but I don't know why it never crossed my mind until I popped the hood and was kind of looking around, and I seen it and I went, oh crap, I forgot about that. But this thing, that's the wrong AC compressor. I don't know what someone was doing, but it doesn't line up at all. But I mean, the alternator works. I ran it for a while. It never got hot. It's full of coolant. I mean, it don't even have the intake tubes on. It's just wide open and it still runs really good. So I thought about trying to sell the truck with the engine, but this is such a good engine, I think I'm going to hold on to it. So why not have the exact same? So I've got another 460 sitting in my garage with the older block and heads. I'll probably let go of since I have this now, but you know. But yeah, so I was debating on keeping that automatic and just either converting the transmission to four-wheel drive that's in it. We're trying to find one. But now I've got manual, full-wheel drive. So the best, which is really what I wanted, was it to be manual. But I was like, man, the cheapest way is for me to find a parts truck, and I don't know if I'll ever find a big block ZF5 that's full-wheel drive. Well, I just so happened, step out of the wind, just so happened Monday, the other day, this popped up on Marketplace, literally perfect. So I literally, what I paid for this, it would be hard to find this transmission for that price. So I'm really happy with what I got. So even if this transmission needs to be rebuilt, which I probably am definitely going to have that done before I stick it in, it's still worth it, you know? So yeah. Oh yeah. And I flipped the mirrors out towing. They work way better flipped out, even though they're horrendous. So that was a great buy. even if we didn't get home till like 10 o'clock that night, and about 2 miles down the road, the inner fender on the car trailer, which is my dad's, the inner fender came loose, started rubbing the tire, I guess after we loaded the truck, even though the truck never touched the fenders on the trailer. I don't know if the weight or what caused it to just pop the spot weld off. Inner fender was rubbing the tire. We got like 2 miles down the road. Now look in the rearview mirror, and thankfully there's some like street lights, and I was like, whoa. I thought, I was praying it wasn't the transmission just gets smoked in the green truck, because my dad's 95 F-150, that happened to us like 3 times. When the first transmission blew, and then like fighting to have the transmission rebuilt the right way like half dozen times. But anyway, that's what my fear was. But thankfully it was the tire rubbing, and obviously it didn't hurt the tire that bad, because we continued to drive like an hour and a half home on it. So we just had to sit on the side of the road for 45 minutes and beat the inner fender out of the truck to break the rest of the welds off. But yeah, so other than that, the trip was great, and the truck, green truck, did fantastic. I can't wait for that thing to be a manual and to just not worry about the auto going out, pulling something like that. So plan is to get that thing, because it runs and drives. Just throw a battery in it and drive it in here, pull out the engine and transmission, pull the hydro boost out with it. I have to pull the clutch pedals out, and the brake pedal assembly, all that comes out as one, because with the hydro boost you have to use that brake pedal. So I already have that, might as well use that. So it's not gonna have brakes, which kind of sucks, but I'm literally just gonna pull it out of my garage, and hopefully someone else buys it, or I'll just part it out, because I'm pretty sure I can make my money back on just parting it out, and then I'll have a 460 and Z05 for free. So I have to say that because my wife was not real thrilled about me going and getting that, but she was, she felt better, after they took the bed off and knocked $500 off. And I told her, I was like, I can make my money back. So that's why sometimes it pays to be on Marketplace all the time. I'm telling you. It hasn't been very good lately, but there's a few good deals out there. So I want to talk about this real quick. So you know I got this Coyote, and this isn't what I want to put in the green truck, because I love the way the 460 tows. Literally pulled that truck trailer and all of us in the truck up hills on I-65 or the Natra or whatever, going 70 miles an hour in overdrive without downshifting. And these Coyotes will not do that. So I don't care how they're geared. That's not where their RPM is. So I don't have any plans for this anytime soon. My dad's Lightning, he doesn't want to put it in there, which is fine. So be on the lookout for where this is going very soon. It's going to some good friends of mine, and I think it's going to go to some great use versus me just holding on to it and sitting on it for a long time. But yeah, that's the plans. I think the green truck's going to be epic now, and I can't wait to get this red truck tore apart. So thanks for watching, and next time you'll see me, I'll probably be getting that red truck tore down. So see ya.